Hello everyone, my name is Janina and today I'm bringing you my August wrap-up. I want to let you know that I'm doing most of my reading on my trusty Kindle since I am currently living in Japan and English books are very overpriced here. That's why I'm not going out all the time buying new books because it's just way too expensive. Yeah, that's why I'm reading most of my books on my Kindle. Another little thing you should know is that English is not my first language, so if I make any mistakes grammar-wise or pronunciation-wise, that's why. So yeah, let's get into it. The first book that I read was actually The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan, which is the fifth and last book of the Percy Jackson series where he is the main character. I really liked it actually. It's my favorite of all the 5 books of the Percy Jackson series. I thought it was really well paced. I like the characters even more in the 5th book because they just get a lot of character development throughout the series, especially Percy. I really like Percy and I love Nico. Oh my god, my son of death. I really like him. Like, I love characters like that. Normally I do not read middle grade books at all. Most of the time they're too like childish. Actually, the first few books that I read of the Percy Jackson series, the writing style was not like my kind of writing style, you know, that I would normally read, because it's like a lot of jokes happen that are very childish in my opinion, but you get over it. Like, I sometimes felt a little bit too old to read it since I am an old person. But if you get through it, you get to know the characters, all what's going on in the book, you get like, it's getting a lot of fun to read. Actually, before I started the Percy Jackson books, I watched a lot of like super dramatic anime and I read a lot of dramatic manga, and I wanted to just have something light to read and something fun and nothing that will crush my soul. So I wanted to start Percy Jackson. You know, it is really light and fun and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I can't talk too much about the book actually because it's like the big showdown. Everything comes together and all the characters come together, and you know, if I would tell you more about it, I think it would really spoil the book. So yeah, let's just say that I think it's a round ending to a good series, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very action-packed, a lot of things happen. You see like some aspects of characters that you didn't see before. Yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Well, the next book that I read was The Necromancer's Smile by, what is her name, Lisa Oliver. Do not read this book, please. It's terrible. I didn't like it at all. It's a gay romance book with a supernatural twist to it because the main character is a detective but a werewolf. He is an alpha werewolf. It's just, oh my god, he's so stupid. And I don't know where to begin with all the things that were wrong with this book, but well, let me just like tell you about the plot of it. So we have that main character where I totally forgot what his name is, but we have that alpha dude who is a detective. A lot of murders happen right now in the town that he's living in. The police department is not getting a lot of clues and the investigation is going really slowly, so they contact a necromancer. The necromancer is actually having a contract with the police department, so they can ask him to help with the investigation, and that's what they do. But they're like really afraid. There's a lot of like hate towards the necromancer actually, and it may sound interesting to you, like that kind of premise, but let me tell you, it is not. It's horrible, seriously, because the main character, he's very rash, he's very stupid, he doesn't think about the things he does or says. The necromancer, he's very innocent and doesn't have a lot of experience romantic wise. Actually none, I think. I don't know. I don't remember that much from this book because it was so terrible, and I read a lot of the pages because I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I gave this 1 out of 5 stars. It will be a long time before I touch another of these really bad gay romance books. The third book that I read was Radiance by Grace Draven. And oh my god, let me tell you, I am not a big fan of romance books at all. Most of the time I don't care about the romance in books. I don't care if there's like even just a tiny bit. I just don't care about it most of the time. So after I read The Necromancer's Smile, I was like, what am I gonna read next? I want to have some good romance because I was feeling like it. So I looked on Goodreads what are like the well reviewed romance books, and that's what came up. And I really enjoyed it. I was so surprised while reading it that I would enjoy it that much. It's about a woman and a man, but they're from different species. She is a human and he is from a species called Kai, and they look really different to humans. They have gray skin, they have claws as like their hands, the eyes are like they don't have irises and pupils, it's just yellow, so they don't look human at all. They're very tall, they're very like unhuman, and to both of like the humans and the Kais, each other are very ugly and very terrifying and weird. So it starts off with an arranged marriage between a human woman and a Kai man. They actually meet before the wedding. They don't know that they like gonna be married off to each other. And they meet and they like bicker and have fun and make fun of each other's looks and take it for the fun that it is, like making fun of each other. And they get married. Yeah, things just take off. It's very well written. It's very sweet. It's a very slow burn romance which is based on friendship and on trust. It was really nice to read. Also, there's a lot of like gory bits which I was not expecting. There's like some fighting happening and like some torture bits, and let me tell you, I was very surprised when that happened, but it was very well done. I liked it a lot and I can't wait to read the second book. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. The fourth book that I read in the month of August was Half the World by Joe Abercrombie. It's the second book of the Shattered Sea trilogy. I read the first book last month. I read it because Holly from Holly Hearts Books raves about the series and just Joe Abercrombie in general, so I wanted to try it because I trust her taste. She has a really good taste in books in my opinion. I will link her down below if you want to check her out. She's super sweet. Yeah, let me tell you what it is about. It has a new character as a main character. It's a woman this time. The other main characters from the first book, they go on a journey to get allies for the impending war that is happening in the book. So they take this girl on a journey, actually train her to be an assassin slash killer. I liked the main character. She's called Thorn, and I liked the other new characters that came, but I especially liked the old main character since his character development is really well done. He changes into something that I really like in main characters, because in the first one, normally I don't like these kinds of main characters. I like my main characters strong, having a goal and having power and stuff like that, and he's not like that at all, but he changes to become more like that, which I really appreciated. What I was really surprised about was I actually like the romance in the second book, because there's like suddenly a romance and I was like, what, where did that come from? There was none in the first. So I was really surprised by that and I liked it. But I must admit that it felt more like an interlude to me. Like the whole book felt more like it was focused on character building and what they went through, but not really like the plot, because I don't think there was a lot that happened plot-wise, to be honest. But I still really enjoyed it and I'm looking forward to the third book. Yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which comes after the Percy Jackson series. Since I wanted to go back a little bit into that world, I started it, and man, it's a long book. I was so surprised because the Percy Jackson books are not that long, but this one has almost 600 pages, I think, so it took me a while to read it. But I really enjoyed it. It was like the writing style was a bit more mature. It still had his style, like his writing style, but I could connect to it a little bit better. So it's about the main character Jason, who wakes up without memories. He has 2 friends called Piper and Leo. So they go back to Camp Half-Blood and they get a mission to, yeah, get his memories back. It was a little bit more mysterious, it was a little bit more dark than the Percy Jackson books, in my opinion at least. I like the new characters, especially Leo. He's really a really sweet boy. I liked his past and how we get to know the characters' pasts in the whole book. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars again. Wow, I had a lot of 4 stars book this month. The next book that I read was Dawn by Octavia E. Butler. It's a science fiction book. It's about a woman called Lilith, and she wakes up in an like isolated room, and she has no idea why she's there. She just knows what happened to the Earth, that the Earth is basically not okay anymore. Yeah, she's in this isolated room at the beginning, and there are voices who talk to her, but they don't like answer her questions even if she has a lot of them. So she tries everything to kind of be rebellious with the voices, because she doesn't want to give them what they want by answering their questions. Yeah, it's a really interesting premise. It changes, obviously. She doesn't stay in this isolated room all the time. There's some aliens coming later in this book, or like quite at the beginning actually. I like the aliens. They're very cute aliens and very affectionate aliens. So yeah, it's basically about her learning to live on Earth again, and how the aliens try to accomplish that. Like how both of these species, like humans and aliens, will in the future like go back to Earth. I don't know, maybe something else will happen because it's a freaking trilogy, so who knows. I actually really love the main character Lilith. She's very strong, she's very passionate, she speaks her mind, she's not afraid to be afraid, and I really appreciated that in her. Also, like I said, I love the aliens. They're very different, and we get to explore a lot about what their motivations are. We learn a lot about their like gender and identities, and actually a lot of sexuality, which is highly interesting. It was really fascinating to me, that book, because I don't read that much science fiction, not yet anyway, because I'm currently more focusing on fantasy, but I want to try and read more science fiction. I really like the idea of aliens working together with humans, them trying to go back to Earth to change something together. Also, before you go into this book, you should know there is a trigger warning for attempted rape. There is one for violence, so keep that in mind. I'm currently reading the second one, and I can't wait to know what's gonna happen. So I highly recommend it if you like science fiction that is more on the really odd side of things, I guess. If you like weirdly affectionate aliens, you should try it. The last book that I read in this month was Hunger by Roxane Gay. Oh, and I gave Dawn 4 out of 5 stars, maybe even 4.5. I'm not so sure, like maybe in between there. So yeah, the last book that I read was Hunger by Roxane Gay, like I said, and I read this because of Whitney from Witty Novels, and this girl, I love her. She is so amazing, and I will also link her down below if you want to check her out. She raved about this book, she really enjoyed it, and I wanted to try it because I normally don't read memoirs or like non-fiction, because it's a memoir of Roxane Gay, and what happened to her body and what happened to her mind after she was raped as a little girl. So it's a very heartbreaking book. It's a very honest and raw book, and her writing style is very clear and very on point, which makes it really easy to read. She's going through a lot, and it breaks your heart that this is what people go through, or some people go through after they have been raped. I really respect her that she sat down and wrote this book and let us all be part of her story. That's really incredible and very brave of her to do. So yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Let me know what you think of this video. I hope you're all having a great day, and I hope you're all well. And yeah, see you in the next video.